Hi guys, John with you again, and it's time for another unboxing. Yes, it's unboxing number 5. Yeah, no, number 6. Yes, number 6. Unboxing number 6. I do beg your pardon. Unboxing number 6 for the series, and the 7 in the series. So I should have got that straight away. To the German, all German, all TAMIYA, all 1/35 scale, and all from the 70s. Okay, so that's what they all have in common. They're all from the 70s. You know, a lot of us builders and things like that, around my age and older. I'm actually more older. I'd be one of the younger ones of the builders that used to sort of remembered these kits coming out. Okay, 1975 I was 10. Okay, and I used to play with the 1/72 ones, the 1/35 scale ones. They were a bit out of my league. But anyway, I digress. More in the last video of the series. This time we're doing the HANOMAG. Okay. Okay. Every builder has done this, and some would buy 2 or 3 of them to use in a diorama because they're with a little bit of nipping and tucking to get them absolutely beautiful. And they're just, if you want something quick, a nice quick build, nice and simple, nothing too complicated, and you even want to display that it's damaged and things like that, you'll get it reasonably good. Okay. Now, when I say damage and things like that, depends on the degree of damage you go to. The more detailed the kit is, the better it is to do. Because you could say blow off a wheel, and what goes behind the wheel looks perfect, looks right. Do you know what I mean? Whereas you can get some cases, you just pop off the wheel and you got an accident there with none of the other bits and pieces that go with it. You know what's wrong. Okay, but we're not going to worry about that. This is this kit. It's the HANOMAG Sd.Kfz.251. So let's get down to the bench and let's get it out of the box. Okay, so here we are down at the bench, and like I said, this is the 5th video in this series of the classic TAMIYA German armour kits, the ones we all remember as a kid, and a lot of them are actually still available today. Okay, some of these ones that I am building are actual old ones. Okay, they date right back. They date right back to, say, some of them back to the first molds. Okay, as in the first batch of runoffs, you could nearly say, like the initial release of the kit, got it when it came out, and more of them are. A lot of them were reboxed around the 80s, and basically they kept the same box art and everything else. They didn't change anything really, but they just kind of freshened up a few bits and pieces. Okay, that's not only with some of the kits now within this series. Like I said, there's going to be 7 videos in total. First one was the Panzer IV, then I did a Tiger 1, did a Tiger 2, King Tiger, did a Flak Verling, and just after finishing the Panther. This is the HANOMAG, and right after that then we're going to have the 88. And that'll be basically the end of that little mini series that I'm doing on classic TAMIYA kits. So this time round anyway, this is the unboxing of the German HANOMAG Sd.Kfz.251. A lot of people have already, I'd say 90% of armour modelers, okay, that are out there today have built this kit. Okay, 90 to 95% of them, and in some cases, and in quite a lot of cases, more than one, if you know what I mean. If you're doing a diorama, you say, oh, I need to quit that, I get this one, because you know it fits together, it's good old reliable. Even for the rivet counters, what they'll do is they'll actually go to the bother of fixing the few things that are off with it. That is, if there's things off with it, I don't know. Okay, hence the fact that I'm not a rivet counter. But anyway, okay, it's a great kit. I've built it once, I know. So this is really for anybody that's actually thinking of getting into modelling, thinking of a good kit to start with. This is one of the best, and you get 5 figures as well, so you get a chance to make up a few figures and practice your painting of figures. There's all 5 of them there for messing around with, and it's a cheap kit. You'll pick it up lovely and cheap. So what you get in the box, okay, you get a set of instructions. Okay, now as you've probably noticed from the box, this is one of the old ones that I was talking about. Okay, see from the old cell tape is yellowed and everything on it. Alright, you get a set of instructions. You get a lower hull and an upper hull. You get one bag with tracks, there's decals in there, there's 2 sprues. We'll have a look at the sprues in a sec. Okay, we get another bag with another sprue, and finally then we get a sprue of soldiers. Yes, we get the 5 German soldiers there on a separate sprue. Okay, and like I said, we'll be having a look at those one by one, and we're going to start off with the with this one. Okay, sprue of German soldiers. Let's see what they look like. Now, these are old TAMIYA kits. Alright, just checking the stuff down there that there's no bits of importance. These are old TAMIYA kits, okay, and one thing that TAMIYA are not known for is their figures. Their kits were absolutely fabulous, but their figures, but to most people they kind of lacked, shall we say. They lacked. And what did they lack? Basically everything. Okay. I don't mind them. I've never really had major problems with them. Then again, I'm not sort of one of these super figure painters. Okay, so I'm just going to change the angle of the camera. Actually, I'm going to zoom in a bit. See, will that work? Will that help us in any way, shape or form? Okay. Right, that helps a little bit anyway. Right, like I said, we start with the figures. There's 5 figures in total. Okay. A little bit better. Look at my hand up a little bit. There we'll be able to get to see. There you go. There's the detail on the figures. It's not the best to detail. Okay. Loads of these little ejector thingies, extra bitsy sticky onnies, bits of plastic. Okay. And you get the gist. There's 5 nice enough figures there. Okay. Their faces seem quite nice. They're nicely deeply engraved or moulded, shall we say, modelled. Even got chin strap there and that chap. Okay, so they're nice figures. Considering their their age and all that, they're quite nice figures. And you get 2 stands and all for the guys that are standing up, because you get one guy lying down. Okay. Well, he's not really lying down, he's on the crawl, shall we say, he's on all 4s. So that's the figures. So now we move on to the onto the parts. Okay. Please entertain yourself there while I'm ripping open the bags. Right, I'm back at this. Okay. As you see, there's none of that fancy editing in this channel. No sorry, boy. So anyway, here we've got our 2 fender sides. Okay, there's a dip in it there to get into the driver. There's the front armor plate, storage boxes. There's the hinges for the back door. Those funny back doors. They're quite fun, because I'm been eager to try this, because when I made it, I made a total hames with a big ball of glue. I ended up gluing the doors closed, cleaning off all the excess glue. Made it, for a finish, it looked quite nice. But shall we say, my skills have improved since then. So I've learned a few little bits and pieces of assembling parts like that. Right. So as you can see, those parts are pretty nice. No flash. All ejector pin markings seem to be, in underneath places. Okay, there's nothing seem to be popping through. Even though you can see the ejector pin marks on the inside of that, it's just that the plastic is so thin that you can actually but when you sort of rub your fingernail off it, there's no dip there, so they want a bit of paint to cover up them. And they're the seats. Okay, so that's, you know, can't say much more than that. Parts look nice. You've got two machine guns there, an MG42 and an MG34. You have a choice of either. Or you think you can actually use both. I'm not 100% sure. I think you can use both in this one. I think you can have one in the front, say in the front mount, this yoke here, the armoured mount, and you can have another one then on a little swivel mount at the back. So those parts now seem quite nice. We've only got two more sprues to have a quick look at. Like I said, you know, boxings are really just to see what's in the box, what's the condition of what's in the box. Does it have figures? What are the figures like? Has it got tracks? Are they link in length? Are they individual links? Are they metal tracks that are given away for nothing? Are they rubber band tracks? You know, things like that. That's why people watch unboxings. But in this case, they're rubber band tracks, okay? Simple little rubber band tracks, nothing exciting. But, there we go. Not bad at all. Okay, look, you can see the age of this one now. The rubber band is actually disintegrated. Okay, so there's rubber band tracks. Like I said, I've built these before. They're quite easy. They just slip in there, and half the time you don't even need to glue them. Okay, so there's our rubber band tracks. Decals, we'll have a look in a second. Right, so this sprue, which is Sprue B. Okay. That last one, incidentally, was Sprue C, I think. No, that was Sprue A, actually, I beg your pardon. Do beg your pardon. That was Sprue A. This is Sprue B, okay. And we've got the main floor, okay, right down into the driver's sort of area. We've got the driver and the main passenger. We've got his seats. We've got the instrument panel there. Steering wheel, haven't a clue, pointy things, I think they're gear levers. Suspension, I think these are all the axles. Okay, we're fitting together with this thing on top of them. And I think that if you do it all properly, you'll be able to turn the wheels, if that's what you want, if you want to play with it. So anyway, that was Sprue B, nicely moulded, some nice detail there, okay. Like I said, we've had a good look at it. I think, because I was looking at the fucking thing that had the television, so just in case. Not the television, the monitor. Sorry lads. Just goes to show my technical ignorance. Don't know the proper names of these things. Okay, so that was Sprue B. Now we've got, I presume, is Sprue C. Yes, Sprue C, and this time Sprue C has all the wheels. Usually Sprue A has all the wheels, but this one's a Sprue C. Okay, being a half track, we have just about as many wheels as a fucking tiger. Okay. You've got all that fun of interlacing wheels. Oh, there we go. So just a quick look at the detail there on those. Right? They're not bad. Okay. Yeah, that central nut is a bit, you know, it is raised, so it's going to pick up a bit of a wash. It's going to be fun painting the have these got rubber on the tracks, on the things, or are they steel wheeled? Yeah, small, tiny bit of rubber. Oh, they're going to be fun. But it's only just kind of a very light ring around the edge of it. It'll be kind of hard enough to do. It's one of those things that if you're going to heavily weather the wheels, you wouldn't bother for the amount of it that's on. Then if you're going to go through all the hassle, just get it all lovely and neat, and then go covering the fucking thing with mud, you're after wasting a lot of time. So any areas that you're going to, I find, you're going to heavy weather them, okay? Got a nice seam down the centre of the wheel now, so that's going to be kind of sanded flat, but you don't want to sand it off either. You know, there's a bit of flash there on that wheel as well. but like I said, you're gonna have to sand the wheel anyway, so that'll come off like that. Right, there's our inner wheel hubs. The other side maybe. No, go straight onto the hub. Probably for the back. I don't know. Well, yeah, probably the other side, with the other slot inside of there, and then the axle will go into them. Silly me. There's the drive sprockets. Again, lacking in a bit of detail, and from watching videos and other people giving out about them, the whole fact that they're kind of rounded, it don't seem to be right, shall we say. Wouldn't be technically right. I think they were more kind of like long tubes, and they were kind of tubular things, and they engaged into the track in full piece rather than just say spikes. Well, maybe wrong. Check it out for yourselves. Just start to go off and do a bit of research, and that's how I kind of decide a model. I think of something, is that right on that model, on that. That's the way it goes. Then I go off and build a model myself. So anyway, I rambled on a bit too much there. That's Sprue C, okay? Now, we've our decal sheet. We've got numbers there. I noticed it goes up as far as 8 and there's no 9. There's 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s, 2 6s, 1 7, 1 8, but no 9. When you see it that way, and then you got 4 of them. I thought I was going to catch myself, didn't you? Started off at a dumb moment and kind of copped it on halfway through. It covered well. So anyway, we've got a couple of crosses there. We've got number plates, divisional markings, white crosses there. So you can have the plain white with no background, or you can have the white with the black cross inside there. We got Africa core markings. Okay, both kinds. You've got there's a white one there. You can see it. Just about make it out there. There's a white one and the one with the green background. And then we've got some number plates as well. Okay, and then we've got the front number plates. And like I said, divisional markings and all that. I think I'm leaning towards doing an Africa core one this time, because I don't really want to use the figures. I did enough figures there for the last couple of ones on the build, and the next build, the 88, definitely needs the figures to go with them. So I'm going to leave the figures out, and I'm going to do the Africa core version, so that it'll be a nice quick build. And don't forget, stay tuned for the build. Okay, keep an eye on the channel. Hit the old bell there, and you know that'll remind you when it's out. So anyway, finally we've got the instruction the instruction page, the instruction pull-out page. Right, get a sprue map, check handy for checking all your bits and pieces. Okay, then you're off into your construction. You're somewhere in the water tank, your instrument, the instrument panel there in the front for the driver. Right, and you're basically getting that whole sort of center section built up. Right, and you're building this little module there. Right, now I noticed that when I was building it, that was the time to paint the module. Okay, that's the time to paint the module. Alright, don't paint the insides yet, don't need to paint the insides yet, but that's the time to paint your paint this section here. Okay, then you're working on the underneaths, all the suspension and all the crockery that goes with it. Okay, and you're playing with those funny doors. Alright, and the great thing about those doors is it's when you add the top to the bottom, it's what keeps them in place, so you don't know if they're right or wrong. So they're going to be kind of awkward. Alright, but before you do that stage, that's before you, it's telling you to put in the center over there. Remember that big central unit, and I said don't put it in just yet. Get the inside of all that painted white, and then get your down section here painted white, or whatever colour you're going to use as your interior colour. Okay, an off dirty white, black if you want, you know, green, yellow, whatever colour you decide. Then when it's all done, then you can fit in your bit with your chairs. It just makes it a little bit neater, a little bit easier to get the insides done, rather than trying to get in around all the bits that are there with your interior paint. Okay. Anyway, more hints from the useless Irishman. Okay, you're finishing off the build then. And there it is, then it's built. Simple as that. There's nothing major to it. Like I said, there's the instructions there for the 5 soldiers, but because I'm doing the Africa Corps version, I won't be using the soldiers, but still, it's nice to know that they're there. I'll keep them for maybe if I'm doing a diorama at some stage. Right, so it gives a couple of different markings there. Okay, the Russian front, 1942. Okay, it's giving you, the types of numbers to use, things like that. You've got a choice that you can use either cross, right, the dark or the white, I think. Is it? Yeah, and it's telling me to apply the same mark to the opposite side. Oh, because I was just following this line down here instead of myself. God. Alright. So you have more markings on the back, on the sides, right? And then you've got markings for the African front as of 1942. Okay. And they were doing well. They were still doing well in 42. By the end of 42 they were not doing well. By 43 they were gone. Well, just into 43. Okay, finally defeated after the 8th Army sort of sent them into full retreat, and then they couldn't sort of sustain 2 fronts, one coming in from the other side from the torch landings. Alright, so that's the version I'm going to do. I'm going to do the Africa Corps. The Africa Corps. And then there's loads more info then in the back of these. Great, the old TAMIYA kits, great for giving you information, and the build up of battalions or companies and all that kind of good stuff. So if you want to see it, go off and get the kit yourself. It's the German HANOMAG Sd.Kfz.251. You'll pick it up for pence. No, I don't mean pence, but very, very cheap. Very, very cheap. And it's a great and enjoyable build. So I'll catch you on the build. Oh, forgetting about the top and the bottom. Just forgetting quickly about the top and the bottom. Alright, there's our top section. Alright. Again, nicely moulded. Make sure you don't knock off or anything like that on the inside. That's the those hinges for them back doors. If they don't all line up perfectly, then they won't close. Okay. So, that's it, lads. That's the unboxing. I'll see you in the next one. Okay? Take care, be safe, and stay tuned to the channel for build update number 1 on this lovely classic TAMIYA HANOMAG Sd.Kfz.251. See you in the next one, lads. Take care. Bye.